Leave it to Bins to make the most interesting school in the world seem dull.
Duncan owes his reputation to you.
Well done beating Ronan. You certainly know your way around the summoning charm.
In today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumphant tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effect it had on the wizard milling industry. Throughout the many goblin battles, countless wizard cloaks were lost. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the bell tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle, it was completed in the late early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts. Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly. Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lord Gok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display here in the bell tower entrance hall. I recommend that all students introduce themselves to this hero of Hogwarts.
Can you tell me where I might find Grimbold Weft?
Oh yes, Grimbold Weft. Quick with a needle and thread, that one. He's a fascinating artifact of the Goblin Rebellion of 1752. At any rate, he can be found nearby, perched in his case.
This unassuming smudge is rumored to be the location of the very first successful use of Bombarda. I suppose successful is a relative term, since whoever cast it didn't live to tell the tale.
There's nothing quite so magical as history. Dusty, immutable history.
Revelio.
Oh yes, I see you found Grimbold Weft.
Why didn't you tell us it was just his skull?
Well, of course he's just a skull. Everyone knows Grimbold Weft died of dragonpox in 1753. Now, let's turn our attention to the agreeability and general good nature of Sir Athpuddle. He's also nearby. See what you can learn from him for your next assignment. Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the bell tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather, statues of knights, I should clarify. Keen-eyed students will spot the statue of Sir Athpuddle of the cheerful countenance nestled among the ranks.
Sir Skagglethorpe the Heedless once challenged a mountain troll to a game of musical chairs. Care to guess who won?
Slaying bloodthirsty dragons, rather in training yards and sculleries, where his warm and approachable demeanor was celebrated by old friends and newcomers alike.
Where can I find that friendly knight you mentioned earlier?
Oh yes, Sir Athpuddle, or rather the statue of Sir Athpuddle. It can be found amongst the other statues of knights. It's easy to identify, as it's been enchanted to wave at those who take the time to seek it out. As one would expect, Hogwarts contains no narthexes, since obviously those would not be found.
This is a centuries-old likeness of Pangadon. Fearless mouse hunter and devoted study companion.
Revelio.
I find that comforting.
In all the centuries that Hogwarts has existed, not once has it...
Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Athpuddle.
Ah, well done. Alas, Sir Athpuddle's affability was his undoing. Died instantly trying to befriend a basilisk. Eye contact is not always to be encouraged. So beloved was he that even some goblins mourned his passing. Of course, that did not bode well with the rest of the goblins, most of whom could not abide mourning the loss of a wizard.
Pity goblins and wizards can't get along.
True. But imagine how dull my lectures would be without goblin rebellions to discuss. History does tend to repeat. It is a series of patterns, a thought both comforting and disconcerting. The wise students, such as yourself, will learn from it. History is written by those who do their schoolwork, so they say. Or at least, I like to say that.
Looks like we've all gone on another one of Binns' wild goose shits.
How can we do so much and accomplish so little?